Guilty Gear Strive had a major patch at the end of October. Major as in the biggest changes we've actually seen to the game in over a year. But also, many players found this patch to be not great. There was a general feeling of the game is kind of buggy right now. Arc System Works has actually been pretty good about letting people know what gets changed in a patch before the patch drops. It would definitely be nice to get this information sooner than 2 days before the patch drops, but for this company, it is definitely an upgrade compared to the past. Now, the thing is though, these changes are not that detailed, so we can't really know how good or bad a thing really is until the patch actually drops. But for every made a change to this move we see in patch notes, Arc System Works is especially vague about bugs. I don't know about you, but my eyes just pass over fixed an issue with in the Guilty Gear Strive patch notes. Since players were specifically complaining about feeling like there were more bugs in the Season 4 update compared to previous patches, I did actually want to go and see what these bugs are for the first time. And the ones I want to share with you are mostly some of the funnier ones. And I say funny, but the first one is probably going to make some people mad. So first, we're going to talk about Leo Whitefang. This is actually one that I feel like if Arxis didn't say something, people actually would not have noticed. And it's about how he could not do special moves like his fireball or Eurostar's White doing back turn. Apparently there were workarounds around this, but they were quite unusual. One example would be doing a dash cancelable normal, like his back turn kick, and then Kara canceling the dash cancel into one of these moves. That being said, this was fixed. So next I want to show off a bug with Chipp that's funny but requires a bit of explanation. And it actually involves the newest character in the game, Queen Dizzy. Dizzy has a move that she's had in every Guilty Gear game, which is the Ice Spike. What's new about this move, however, is that she has the ability to follow it up with an Ice Field. Now, normally Dizzy is actually a pretty fast character, but the Ice Field does affect movement like a platformer or an RPG. Both Dizzy and the opponent character get affected by the ice field. So check out this Chipp combo. You wouldn't really think anything of this combo. Actually, you might be like, what is the point of this combo? This is actually a pretty bad Chipp combo, and I would agree with you. This is what this combo looked like before the patch, because the ice actually affected him during the combo and he's just swinging at nothing. Then we have to talk about Ram. So Ram had some of the most obvious bugs. So her swords actually had 2 bugs associated with them. So for starters was, how do these swords actually work? So what's supposed to happen is that the initial sword is a guard crush and the follow-up is an explosion. But what would happen if the first hit of the sword whiffs but the explosion connects? Well, what you would think is that, well, if the first sword specifically is a guard crush and the explosion is not, which you can see here, then if the sword whiffs, then you block the explosion and the explosion is just like a normal guard. And in the current version, it looks like this. Well, what happened in the previous version, so if you managed to make the first hit of the sword whiff for some reason and you block the explosion, she would get the guard crush on that. For the curious, in the previous version, if you blocked the initial hit of the sword, the explosion was blocked normally. This was not the only problem she had with her swords though. If you've watched me play this game at all on stream, one thing you find me complaining about a lot is when things don't go away on hit. There's some moves I don't like in this game, like Elfelt's upgraded vest for example, or the Bedman install, but at least those moves are supers, so you don't have to deal with them right away. Like it's usually like a mid to end round thing, and it costs meter, and usually these supers have a longer meter penalty in the case that you survive. So in the current version, if Ram throws this S sword, if you interrupt her because this move is not fast, even if you see the sword coming at you, as long as you hit her before it makes contact with you, it will go away. This was not the case in the previous version of the game. So this move had the cursed ability of it stays on hit, which was extremely powerful. This thing in general is just honestly kind of broken in fighting games, so I'm glad they acknowledged it and fixed it quickly. Now, you might be surprised, Ram had one more bug that they fixed this patch. Ram has 2 supers. One is her pretty well-known reversal super, and the other is her damage super, Calvados. The thing is, Calvados though, she needs the swords and she has the swords next to her while she fires this beam. So what would happen if somebody did something to ram while these swords were in this position on the screen? Well, at the moment, nothing happens. She just gets knocked away and she has the swords. But previously, in this situation, the swords would actually linger and you couldn't move for a bit. So the next one is involving Bedman, and this is less funny unless you're mean to mid tiers or low tiers and more just like an oopsie. So this involves malfunction. So the follow-up to this move is a kind of head bomb that causes a guard crush. And the thing is, they have buffed this bomb distance by quite a bit in Season 4. Now, what's supposed to happen when you do this move in the air is that it's supposed to like explode here. But the big miss here definitely comes from the bomb position. So in the previous patch, when you would do the malfunction, the bomb would not even hit like taller characters like Kai standing. So next is another one of the more famous bugs from Season 4.0, which involves Goldlewis. And Goldlewis has this move, Skyfish, that got changed this version so he can manually control the gun. Something like this. As you saw before, when you dump the whole clip, and this involves being at the max security level, the wall breaks. In this game, when the wall breaks, you can't burst. So on wall break here, I'll be mashing burst and I cannot burst. Now the thing is, in 4.0, they missed this and you can actually burst after wall break, which causes this very odd, you're just in the background. And for Kai, we have to talk about Dragon Install. Dragon Install upgrades his special moves, and you'll see that especially when in shock state, there's just a ton of hit stun on this and like hit stop, and it's many hits. There is a restriction on when you could actually do another charge stun edge, and even though it looks like you have all day and this looks kind of funny, you can't follow up with a combo. So in the previous version, I think they didn't really account for how much actual hit stop they added, so you were able to cancel to another charge stun edge really quickly and essentially do an infinite combo with Kai. This was not very practical to say the least, but it's not a good look. It looks pretty jank. It is not the first infinite this game has had though, and I talked about that in my Season 4 video on why people were kind of upset with the game. And finally, to top it all off, I want to talk about Baiken. I mentioned this in the analysis I made about how her changes actually played out that I posted a couple of weeks ago at this point. They've been trying for a while to get rid of the clean hit gun. And if you don't know what it was a way of hitting her Kenju, the gun super, as such as a third hit would hit the opponent and add a ton of damage. In Season 3, you could hit this pretty much anywhere, but in Season 3.1, the winter patch that came with Elfelt, they tried to take this away and you could not do it mid-screen anymore. I think the way they did it is by moving the clean hitbox, like the third hitbox. So what actually ended up happening is that you could do it in the corner, and you could do it kind of outside the corner, you could do it very easily after wall breaks, and because of the positive bonus changes they made this technique even more accessible, to the point that I thought this is the thing that saves Baiken from being like a bad character. It was actually very fun to optimize around this type of thing. I'm a little sad to see it gone. And for sure, both the mid-screen headshot and all of the corner variations that we found in previous versions seem to be gone. Now, I don't really know what they did, and again, in 3.1, I kind of stumbled upon clean hit gun by accident, so maybe they still didn't properly do it, but at least all the ways I've experimented with, I could not find a way to get the gun to hit 3 times. Rest in peace, it was a fun technique. She can do combos now. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. As usual, if you have any questions or comments, definitely feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I do coach Guilty Gear on Metafy. If you want to hit me up over there, that's metafy.gg/@LordKnight. We stream basically every day, especially when I'm at home on weekdays is what I mean, Monday through Friday, at twitch.tv/LordKnight. I do have a second channel called LordKnight Chronicles if you want to see stuff from that stream, like reaction videos, reacting to Twitter, things like that. Like and subscribe if you guys feel like it, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.